it's extremely hard as a top level athlete. You're going to Michigan, have 100,000. Penn State got 110,000. You go to Tennessee, you go to these places and they're offering top education, top football, NFL draft picks. It becomes sensory overload and you kind of lose track of what matters to you. So my thing for athletes is really having a cutthroat criteria going into the process, like, and being honest about what it is that you want. I want to play early. I need to get developed. I need to play both sides. I need to live in this. I want to study that. I need this type of NIL support. I need my media rights. I need these type of things. And once you kind of shape out, we help athletes like shape out that avenue of development or that beneficial ecosystem that they have for where they're going, whatever school can provide, that is kind of the clear winner. But I think preparing that, because every athlete is completely different. I've recruited athletes where they didn't want to go to a school if they weren't going to get redshirted because they felt like they still needed to be developed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for that athlete, there's no point in going somewhere or selling early playing time because like he's scared to play early. And this player that I'm speaking of ended up going first round. So it doesn't necessarily mean like the ending or the outcome success determined, but I think you have to be authentic in what you're setting yourself up for because you're still developing. Do you know what I mean? Throughout this process. And I'll give a shout out because one thing I'll just say, a lot of parents, as their kids are teenagers and they're moving through this process, we like to push our kids out of like their comfort level. Like, hey, you need to grow in this. I know that you're uptight, but you need to go here and do this. I would say let them do that after they get out of college. Like this college situation, they need to stack the chips in their favor. Do you know what I mean? Like this isn't the time to push them necessarily outside of their comfort zone. We got to figure out where that comfort zone is, stretch it a little bit as we go through the recruiting process. But like when we get there, it needs to be set up for them to succeed. Because if not, it's tough.
Yeah, tough is an understatement. Tough is 1,000% an understatement. All right, bet. So, all right, we level set on that phase one, but then now we announced our commitment, right? Like, so now here we are, we've made a decision, all the boxes have been checked, etc. But in the blog post that was released last week, check out the Blue Chip Academy blog post on Substack, posted last week. The real evaluation just hit in phase two, right? And the word that you used was the silent second tryout. What does that mean? Like, what is all inclusive of the silent second tryout? Like, are the stakes higher now? Like, let's start out with just like a general overview of like what that all entails.
The stakes are definitely higher because there's a level of comfort that the athlete has come over, right? Whether it's the family, like, hey, we're home, we have a place to go. So there's naturally a loss of hunger for most athletes that you see after they're committed. Very few are still trying to grind to get something else or just do anything else. And most of them are focused on actually staying healthy to like get there, right? Mm-hmm. So what they don't realize is after we get a commit internally as a recruiting coordinator, I'm actually tracking, no longer am I watching highlights, now I'm watching the full game of that player every single week. Like, all right, what are they doing? Now we got to see like what player did we actually get into our program? And now that we have monetary value that we have to assess to the player, now I got to see like, okay, how early can this player play based on his playing habits, how hard he plays, how kind of offense they run, kind of defense they run, and track that development throughout his senior season to see like, all right, well, what's the talent acquisition fee going to be for when he comes onto our roster? Or if he starts, curtailing down on the graph and there's some guy that's, right on that fringe, has a blowout senior season, have to make difficult decisions in November. And I've had clients that have been dropped at the end of November because the school got a new coaching staff. And they came in and was like, we don't want any more of our recruits to come here. And based on this film, it's not dynamic enough. And sorry, you got to figure it out. And now we have a month to essentially open up old relationships and figure out a home, you know what I mean? With no leverage. And so that's what I don't want athletes to find themselves in, because that's a pretty hard left turn.